Hello, sacred souls. It's Susanna from Alamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is black paint in a glass bottle that I'm going to smash to free the dark demons, dark entities, shadows, and all the dark stuff that is in us and or those suffering from dysmorphophobia that have affected us. And I was actually going to do a fire ceremony tonight. I've been processing some really heavy energies. And then something happened today where someone obese, when I had a pizza pickup and I was waiting for it, I was sitting at a bench and the store was empty. This was like pretty late in the evening and it was in a neighborhood that wasn't very frequented. So like the store was basically empty. And this guy came in, didn't order anything, just stood there kind of relatively close to me. And he was looking at his tablet, or it's seemingly looking at his tablet the whole time, or for quite a long time. And finally, so I was sitting on a wooden bench right next to the entrance door, but the rest of the store was empty. No one was sitting at any tables. It was just the staff there. And so there were tons of tables, tons of chairs everywhere, right? So then he decided suddenly to sit down right next to me. And he was sitting on the pizza delivery bag. So I ripped that out from under him and kind of jumped up because I didn't expect the whole situation. And maybe it was his energies I picked up on, which seemed quite disturbed and sort of borderline creepy. Or it was also, or maybe both, maybe it was also something unhealed within me that made me jump up and react, not in a hostile way, but just making it clear that I did not want him to be that close to me and sitting on my bag, right? That was all just nonverbal communication. And basically, the moment I jumped up, he started freaking out and ranting about how he is disfigured and it's his parents' fault, and goes on a whole rant. And in the end, he even mentioned something about it's the Nazis' fault, or I don't know what else. But it was like this whole long rant. And at some point he came over to where I was then sitting. And he's like, what, see, even you feel disgusted by me or whatever. And I said, you were sitting on my bag. And he said, why didn't you move it? And I said, I did. And then you freaked out. And then he continued his rant and eventually left the store. And, all the personnel came and kind of made sure that the situation was safe, which I felt it would be. And like, I didn't feel unsafe in any way. But it took me a while to process that and realize. So he wanted to create a situation that would allow him to freak out because he had so much self-hate in him. And what also became really clear is that he considered himself disfigured, but he wasn't handicapped or crippled in any way. Like, if you want, so excuse me for using this word still, but just to distinguish between physical disfiguration such as a hunchback or anything like that and simple obesity, right? I don't have an issue with any of this. I have an issue with someone sitting on my delivery bag, and then people get their pizza delivered in a bag where someone's ass was sitting on it. Excuse my language, right? Anyhow, and I'm sorry, I still have some unhealed parts in me that you know, didn't react completely stoically, fairly, but my initial reaction was to jump up. And, you know, I didn't want him that close to me. Again, I had a similar situation in a bus years ago. The bus was half empty and this woman sat down so close to me that her one leg was half on mine, right? So it's like there's something about having the space invaded, right? But that's not the part of what I want to do here today, because this man clearly had so much self-hate in him that he was looking for a reason to get it out. You know, you might be able to relate possibly to when you were in your most angry time. I know when I was a teenager, I had some anger in me, and my best friend and I purposely sort of ran into people and then said, "Watch out." Meanwhile, it was our fault. Like, we bumped into them, right? And we did it on purpose. So this was as bad as I ever was, basically. But it was kind of similar and comparable to that, right? So he actually created the situation to give him a reason to freak out, to get a reason to get that nasty energy out of him that he had inside of him. Oh, wow. And while I'm talking, I'm looking at one of the past ones that's red. And what I never noticed down here, I'm sorry, it kind of takes the focus away, but it's like the head of some kind of creature that looks sort of beast-like. So yeah, it's like basically when there are a lot of really dark negative thought patterns that a person repeats, then those thought patterns and connected emotions create shadows, and like basically they create dark energetic entity beings in a sense. I experienced that when my one sister was sending really evil energies towards my other sister, who she wasn't talking to because the other one had cut her off, and she had good reason for it. But it was the same thing. So the one who had actually done something wrong and was cut off directed all the hate and self-hate that she had in her towards the other one, because she was unable to take responsibility for her own emotional stuff, right? S-H-I-T, I want to say. Okay, so it's kind of similar to that as well. It's like when someone can't look at themselves and their own stuff, they need to direct it outwards and take it out on others, right? So that's what I was shown with this situation today, and it ties in perfectly to the dysmorphophobia that I knew would probably require several ceremonies. And I know there is another fire ceremony that I need to do for that, which I had planned on doing tonight, but again, things changed. So what I want to do here with this is deal with the immediate dark energies that were directed at me. And many of you, especially if you have done the last video or watched the last video, done that ceremony, a lot of that stuff comes up when we do a ceremony like this, and it can, if it's not fully released in the first ceremony, it can stay and linger with us, and it will show other aspects that need to be released, which is actually what I'm doing here. And this is one thing that I hadn't thought of. I thought, okay, just the fire ceremony. But this this dark, energetic entity shadow that had formed, let me put it that way, needs to be released from the person suffering from dysmorphophobia and all those that were affected by that person and were basically abused by that person because they put all their emotional garbage, or they projected all their emotional garbage onto others, right? And for those of us who were immediate family members, we got it the strongest, right? So, and it's very telling that I'm standing right in a spot where there's a lot of dark here on the wall too. The wall is quite long, but there's less stuff thrown around here. So I picked this spot. So I think I'm ready to throw the bottle. It almost sounds like a game. So the idea is that the black paint represents all that dark, energetic garbage, the dark shadows, entities, and so on that need to be released from us and those people. And they need to be, it needs to be cast away and neutralized. Now, a lot of times as I'm casting it away, I then get guidance as to whether or not it needs to go into the fire, straight into the light, or back to hell until it's ready to move into the light later. And this is very funny too. Now, of course, a train is coming, which is going to make this a little bit harder for you to hear. So give me a moment, please. I don't think it's a very long one. I think we're lucky with this one. And it's going right through. Okay. I might be wrong. Sorry about that. That again, it's like I've had a bunch of stuff that was trying to interfere with things that I was doing and so on. And this is one example. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. By smashing this bottle, let any and all dark, negative, evil, and demonic energies, entities, powers, forces, spirits, beings, shadows, and any and all demons, the devil, and AI, and any other form of the dark be released from us and any and all people suffering from dysmorphophobia. I cast all those energies into the fire to be transmuted and neutralized and healed and transmuted into pure divine love light energy and returned to source for reintegration. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. dark chicken, so the opposite of courage, and a large wild cat like a jaguar or something, but a dark version of it in the sense of like energetically, right? And it's coming at the chicken. Oh, I wonder if that's actually a good one helping us. Okay, I'm gonna have to sit on that a little bit more. Sorry, I am being a little distracted there by the train. But thank you, spirits, for helping us release these nasty energies. Please help us fully and completely heal from any and all dark effects that are connected to dysmorphophobia. Help us fully and completely embrace ourselves and our bodies and how we look, and let all those suffering from dysmorphophobia also receive this healing, and any and all other people who were connected to these situations and to those people suffering from dysmorphophobia. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. Ha! So the whole time, so this means, oh, the dark is running as much interference as they possibly can. They do not want to let go of this, but this is definitely one part that was released. However, I will see how the next few days go energetically to see what else needs to be done aside from the fire ceremony that I'm gonna do. But the fact that the train was running the whole time is definitely a sign that the dark is trying to hold on to these attachments that it has formed with us and all those people suffering from dysmorphophobia and any and all other people connected to us and those suffering from that illness, from that mental illness. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, for being a part of this quick release. That wasn't actually a full-fledged ceremony, but that was an important part of releasing dark aspects that were connected to the ceremony that I did. I think it was 2 days ago, right? Or was it 3 days ago at this point? Sorry. I lost track of time. I needed some me time as well to deal with those heavy energies that I was feeling. And once again, thank you so much for watching, for being a part of this, and for being on your own healing and ascension journey. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And I'm also sending you tons of love, light, and blessings. Be well until next time, and I wish you great abundance. Bye.